Hey there! Welcome back to An Introvert's Paradise. I'm Kendra Kaiju, and today, we're talking Paralives. We are now under a month away from Paralives releasing into early access. So now's the time to start getting excited. I felt it was too early to do it when they announced when early access was, but now's the time. Now's the time to get excited about the second new life sim in the same year. We went decades without any competition for The Sims. Now in 1 year, we got 2 new legitimate players in the space. I don't usually let myself get too excited about stuff, because life has a funny way of disappointing you. But I also realized not only are we getting Paralives in December, we're also getting stores in Inzoi, so it is a great time to be a life sim fan. And also a great time to be an introvert, because outside of dinner plans with my family, I've got no other plans for my Christmas break. So I'll just be living not 1, but 2 alternate dream lives. One where I'm successful and a stud. So to help hype us up for early access, the Paralives dev team has released some materials explaining to us what we should be expecting on December the 8th. First of all, they're explaining what early access is. It's when developers release a game before it's complete to receive feedback from the players while it's still being shaped. Honestly, before Inzoi, I had no idea why early access was offered. I didn't understand the reasoning behind it. But since, I think it's such a smart way to build your game. It's such a smart way to make a game. Build it with your community. Build it with the people who are going to be buying and playing your game anyway. Give them exactly what they want. Instead of guessing or thinking you know, this way you absolutely know. Because if you do it the other way, the more traditional way, there's a pretty good chance at the end of the day, there's going to be at least a few things that your community wish weren't there, and a few things that they wish were. And we see lots of examples in Inzoi. There's been plenty of subtractions and additions and adjustments based on our feedback. The main one being, it was never planned for the devs to add a lot of places in the open world for us to go and things for us to do while we're there. It's because the community was like, oh no, that's like the number 1 thing we want, and the devs have made the pivot. They're hard at work implementing that feature in the game. Seemingly one that's given them probably some restless nights, but it's what we want, and I'm pretty certain it would have gotten killed in reviews had it released in full without things to do in the open world. So I think it's a great way to make video games in general, and I'm glad Paralives is taking this approach, especially because they're an indie developer. They're such a small team, I believe it's 13 people. They can't afford to make that many mistakes. They need to get it right, and get it right the first time. So what's gonna be there day 1? They say you will be able to manage your para's needs, wants, life goals, and career. So in other words, the basic gameplay loop of a life simulation. So that's great, and they say it's still gonna be worked on and improved, and that's fine. Even Inzoi still being worked on and improved. You might encounter bugs and crashes. That's to be expected at this point, and that's okay. You can make friends, find love, or be mean. Well, I have no interest in being mean, or at least in general. I'm okay with being mean to paras who are mean to my paras. In fact, I hope you can pop them in the kisser. Making friends, finding love, from everything that I've seen from Paralives, it seems to have that element down, the doing things together element. It's definitely got a leg up on Inzoi in that department. They seem to do that well. Looks like for starters, even with complete strangers, you can just take your mouse and group them all together and start doing things with them. Like hanging out, working out together. That was something that was glaringly missing in Inzoi. It's being worked on, it's definitely gotten better, but more work needs to be done in that department. And I'm hoping there's way more to this than we've been able to see in Paralives. Because going into early access, it's definitely going to be a little light on features, but if they have the relationship, the interaction between people part right, like there's lots to do together, then that's gonna go a very long way. Social life basic skills are there, but still lacking things like organizing social events and calling other paras. Again, that's gonna be okay as long as all that means is there aren't formal events that you can set up. Like you can't throw a dinner party, but you can certainly eat with your household, eat with your family. And if somehow your friend is over, because it doesn't sound like you can invite them over, but if somehow they've made it into your house, maybe they're walking by and you invited them in, if you can sit down with them and have dinner, well, that's good enough for now, I suppose. I guess what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, if what we can do is plentiful and a deep system, then I'm not too concerned with not being able to set up social events. I don't like doing any of that stuff, well, A, in real life, but also B, even in-game. Because every time someone texts me in Inzo to set something up, I'm like, I guess so. So I don't really care that that feature is missing, but I hope, at least with our family, with our household, there's plenty of different interactions we can have. Because in the video, it was so quick and easy to grab a group of strangers together and hang out in a cafe. And you can even work out as a group together. So I hope there's tons more of that type of stuff. And as far as not being able to call other paras, it's disappointing. Because I don't know what it is. Because in real life, I don't like calling people. I don't like receiving calls. It's almost a phobia of mine. But in-game, in The Sims, I loved calling my friends and family. Because I thought it was a nice way of building up relationships without having to go out and do something or have people over and take a lot of time out of your day. There's something just really nice to it. Well, unless you call too late or too early in the day. Because in that scenario, the person on the other line is like, "What are you, crazy? I'm sleeping!" Although you do get to call for a pizza. And I don't know what it is. Again, probably a nostalgia thing. I don't think you could do it in Sims 4, right? I think it was Sims 2, where I just loved calling for pizzas. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but I'm thrilled it's in this game. For now, when a para is born, gets married, or dies, there isn't much to highlight these moments. But we plan to add emotions and celebration to these. This one's a weird one, right? Because it's one thing to not have a celebration, like if you can't throw a birthday party, a wedding, or a funeral. I mean, they just added funerals in Inzoi, and I've certainly never thrown a funeral for anybody in The Sims. So that might be new to the genre. But regardless, those I can live without. But it's weird that you don't have an emotion. Because at first I thought, wait a minute, do they not have emotions then? Because those are pretty big things to not have an emotion for. But then I remember distinctly, there was a video where there was a woman crying in it. She was like in the bathroom and she was really sad. She sat up against the bathtub. So I'm like, no, so they clearly have sorrow, sadness. So I'm assuming they have happy and excited, that type of stuff. So I think they mean they just don't have specific emotions for those life events. I certainly hope they don't mean when those things happen, your para just stone faces in that situation. When a family member dies, they don't bat an eye. When the doctor hands them their newborn baby, nothing. I hope they don't mean that. I assume they don't mean that. I assume it just, they're not special emotions. You just get the ones from regular life, which is fine. Just don't let me find out it's, oh yeah, the lady will cry when her shower curtains doesn't match the wall color or something, but she does not care when her dad dies. I'm like, lady, you're a monster. And nuts. I will give you 5 meows to get you a new shower curtain. Get over it. They continue with, we've designed a cozy town for you to discover. But it's still lacking activities outside of some shops and collectibles to find. And that's okay. Activities, I think they mean something like the arcade. Again, I hardly ever go to the arcade. What I hope for is that the shops they have are integral parts of our life. I hope they have a grocery store. I hope you have to buy groceries. I don't like doing groceries in reality, but I think it's so immersive if a game ever included it. I know they were planning on doing it in Life by You, but sadly that game went belly up. I hope somebody carries forward with that idea. The Paramaker will let you fully customize and dress your characters, but some hairstyles and clothing items are still missing. From what I've seen so far, I dig this Paramaker. It actually has a lot of strength that even the Inzoi one doesn't have. First and foremost, you can pick different eyes, different noses, different mouths. You're not just picking a preset and pinching and pulling until it gets close to what you want. This is like The Sims. This is the type of character creator I want for Inzoi so badly, so they have a leg up. You can make different body types. There's a height slider from what I recall. This looks powerful, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it. A good selection of furniture and objects is waiting for you in build mode. A wider variety will be coming out in the future. Oh, I'm not concerned about furniture at all in this game, because from what I remember, you can change the furniture. You can make couches, for example, longer or shorter, taller. I'm pretty sure there's a color wheel, so you can take one thing and turn it into many things, though I don't think we're gonna need to worry about furniture for a very long time. And then when you factor in that mods will be available via the Steam Workshop, when it comes to items, we shouldn't have to worry about that for a very long time. And having it all on the Steam Workshop is perfect. Because the one knock on the Sims mods is they were everywhere. On people's Tumblrs, on like Angel Fire, sketchy Russian sites, they were just everywhere. I appreciate that both Inzoi and now Paralives, it's gonna be one-stop shopping. Whether it's Steam Workshop or in-game. I'm gonna start speeding along a little, we're running really long here. They're not gonna have pools, they're not gonna have basements, nor will they have more flexible stair and roof tools. Those must be really difficult to create because The Sims 4 I know launched without pools. I don't recall them not launching with basements, but certainly Inzoi didn't have pools or basements, and now here we are with Paralives in the same ship. And they say, don't expect hundreds of hours of gameplay just yet. Oh, I think you're underestimating us life simmers. If you give us anything to work with, we'll get at least 100 hours out of this. I plan on getting at least 50 hours out of the Paramaker alone. And I was a little bit surprised at first because their early access is running 2 years. It's gonna go into 2027. And even though I know there are definitely other games who have gone 2 years, I haven't played any that's gone that long. Usually it's about a year, the ones that I've played. But then I thought about it some more. I shouldn't be surprised because their team is only 13 people. It's gonna take time to get stuff out. And that's the thing. I have to prepare myself mentally and know that we've been spoiled by the Inzoi team. They're not a huge team, but they're certainly not a small team either. They're a good-sized team, and they seemingly work around the clock, so they do get a lot done. A lot comes out with each update. I definitely don't expect that from Paralives. It sounds like what we're gonna get day one is comparable to what we got day one from Inzoi, but whereas Inzoi over the past 7-8 months has come such a long way, I don't think the same thing's gonna happen for Paralives. But that'll be okay as long as they get right what I think they're gonna get right. And that's the relationship stuff, that's the interacting with your household, with your friends. The vibe is very different too, it's definitely cozy. Because I watched one of their videos, I don't even know if I can find it. It was like a bedroom. Maybe they were demonstrating their lighting effects or whatever, but something about it was so just warm and cozy to me. I dig the art style, and even though there's an open world, everything just seems more intimate. And there's definitely space for that. And because this is coming out in December, it's winter, it's cold, I'm down for a cozy life sim. And even though this isn't news, they've mentioned it many times before, that all their future updates and expansions will be free. I appreciate the sentiment. I get what they're going for, is because as a lifelong, well, let's face it, Sims player, I've been milked my fair share. I think we can all agree EA is pretty scummy with their monetization. Every single iteration, they just strip it down more and more so they can sell us the same expansion packs over and over again. So they're wrong to do that. It went from just expansion packs to game packs as well, stuff packs, now kits. So us simmers, yeah, we've been milked dry. So I do appreciate not having that many things sold to us, but I don't know how practical it is. I don't think it certainly doesn't make good business sense. Because if everything is free from now on, then there's a shelf life on this game. Because eventually, there will come a day where the greater majority of people who are going to buy their game would have already bought their game. They're going to reach a point where they don't sell very many copies per year. So they'll just be depending on the money they've already made to keep paying their people, to keep coming up with new content. That well is going to run dry pretty quickly. Ideally, I prefer there not be a Paralives 2. I prefer if they just had Paralives, if it's built right, if they have the right foundation to build upon, it just goes on for like a decade. I'd prefer it that way. If this company wants to keep its doors open, they're going to have to eventually make more money. So does that come in the form of a sequel? I prefer it not be the case. I prefer if they just don't do what The Sims did. But you don't have to be the exact opposite of them. You could just be like, well, we won't sell game packs, we won't sell stuff packs, we won't sell the kits. But maybe once a year, we're gonna sell an expansion pack and make it reasonable. Maybe charge $30 Canadian for it. If you can manage to sell 1 million copies of that every single year, you'd be fine. Alright, I think that's enough from me for today. Thank you for your time, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching. You know, I truly appreciate it. So here we go, here's the home stretch. Paralives in less than a month. It's marked on my calendar. I can't wait. We'll talk soon, okay? You take care of yourself until then. And remember, just make it through another day.